Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, wherever you're joining us from today. My name is Matan Odell. I'm responsible for international recruitment at Lancaster University's beautiful campus located in Leipzig, Germany. I'm here today with Dr. Neha Jindal, who is an assistant professor in economics at Lancaster University. Prior to this, Dr. Jindal worked for 3 years as a teaching associate in economics at the home campus of Lancaster University in the United Kingdom. She received her PhD in economics in 2018 from the University of Kent, and her thesis mainly focused on understanding the role of geographical and sectoral mobility in bringing up new economic opportunities. So thank you very much, Dr. Jindal, for joining us today. We are here today, of course, to cover the topic, what does it take to think like an economist? So I will quickly run through some just general information about the university, and then I will welcome Dr. Jindal to the stage. Okay, so we are here today to talk about the university, Lancaster University in Leipzig, Germany, and also to cover the topic, what it takes to think like an economist. First, I just want to give a quick overall general synopsis of what our global reputation looks like. Lancaster University is a British public research institution with research partnerships in over 60 countries around the world. We are currently ranked 122 globally on the 2023 Times Higher Education World University Rankings, as well as number 146 on the 2023 QS World University Rankings. 91% of the university's research is considered world leading or excellent, and the university ranks in the top 15 in the United Kingdom. Lancaster University has 5 campuses around the world, with the only European Union campus based in Leipzig, Germany. I'd like to present now some of the key ideas about studying and living in Germany. Okay, first of all, life in Germany is great. Germany ranks number 7 globally for the highest quality of life. Germany, of course, is Europe's largest economy, 4th largest in the world. And I can say from living here that the population is colorful, cosmopolitan, and dynamic. 13% of the people living in Germany originate overseas. And when you look at the city of Leipzig, that goes up to 20% of the population was born outside of Germany. So Germany is a very, very international place to live. Germany is, of course, a very safe and welcoming country. The cities of Germany are quite safe, very clean, very green. And I would say as a student city, Leipzig is quite friendly as well. Now, Germany is the top non-English speaking study destination globally, with over 335,000 international students currently enrolled at universities across Germany. One of the huge benefits of living in Germany, of studying in Germany, is that students studying in Germany qualify for an 18-month post-study work permit upon graduation. This is the most generous post-study work permit in the European Union, and this can lead into opportunities for permanent residence or citizenship. Overall, I think German immigration policies really reflect the need for high quality graduates to really fuel this economy. Where is the university located? We are in the largest city in the state of Saxony, the city of Leipzig. Leipzig is the largest city, as I said, in Saxony. We are located 1 hour southwest of the city Berlin, which is the capital of Germany. And within the city of Leipzig, our campus, the Strohsack campus, which occupies approximately 1 city block in the city center. The Strohsack campus is located in the heart of the pedestrian zone of Leipzig. This means that it's pedestrian streets, there aren't many cars on the roads within the city center, and you have access to great shopping, museums, cafes, restaurants, and pubs. Just a quick note on the quality of life versus the cost of living in Germany. German quality of life, as I mentioned, is quite high. If you look at the quality of life on the right-hand side of your screen, you can see here that Leipzig actually ranks #2 in Germany for highest quality of life of the large cities. And when you compare those other top 5 large cities to Leipzig, on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see that in all areas that matter to students, such as student accommodation, the cost of living overall, purchasing food in a supermarket or eating out in a restaurant, all cost significantly less in the city of Leipzig. I like to think that this is largely because Leipzig is a student city and the cost of living is very amenable to a student budget. There are many other benefits of studying in Leipzig. For instance, as a British university, our degrees are taught 100% in English. We are also located within the largest technology cluster in the European Union, the 5th largest globally, with 3,900 high-tech employers across the state of Saxony. We offer affordable tuition rates for international students, and we offer home fees to EU or UK nationals. On top of this, I mentioned as a student city that Leipzig is home to over 40,000 university students with a population that is 20% international. Germany is in the top 10, Leipzig is in the top 10 largest cities in the country, and our university works very, very hard to place our students with high quality employment opportunities, both in Saxony, in the city of Leipzig, and wider Germany and Europe. Now I would like to welcome to the stage Dr. Jindal, who will present on what it takes to think like an economist. Welcome back, Dr. Jindal.
Thank you, Matan. Yes, let me just share my screen first. Okay. Yeah, so as Matan already introduced me, my name is Neha Jindal, and I'm a lecturer in economics at Lancaster University, Leipzig. Okay, so today I would like to talk about what it takes to think like an economist. So under this topic, we are going to explore the mindset and the skills that economists possess and analyze the approach towards problem solving and decision making. Okay, so before getting into more details, I would like to discuss with you some importance of this topic, right? Why do we study this? So thinking like an economist is a skill that is useful not just in making decisions in the marketplace, but you can use this skill to make decisions in other fields as well, apart from economics, right? So you can use this skill to make your daily decisions. For example, if you want to go out for dinner or not, or if you want to start a new career, or if you want to go back to school to do a master's degree. So all these decisions will become more clearer once you know the mindset and the skills. Okay, once you start thinking like an economist, these decisions will become more clearer. So that's why we are learning this topic, right? So, one of the key features of economic thinking is analytical and objective mindset. So, so the economists, they have the ability to see the problem from different angles. Okay, so they have the ability to break down the problem in smaller components and then analyze them systematically. Okay, so this will help them to make smarter decisions in their professional and personal life. Okay, so we say that if you think like an economist, you'll be able to avoid irrational decision making. Okay, so you'll be able to understand the world properly and to make informed decisions towards the end. Okay, so another feature of economic thinking is rational decision making. Okay, so we tell people that be mindful of your choices. Okay, and always evaluate the cost and the benefit of different choices before making any kind of decision, right? So you look at the cost and you look at the benefit and then decide if this is beneficial for you or not, okay? So this is the question I asked to my students in the very first lecture, that what is economics, okay? So economics is all about scarcity, okay? So the idea is that we have unlimited wants, but the resources are limited, okay? So in certain situations, we need to make certain choices, okay? Because we want everything, but we don't have enough money to get all those desires, right? So we have to make choices towards the end. And economics is a study that will help us to make certain choices, okay? So it will help us to understand how should we allocate our resources optimally in order to have the maximum satisfaction, okay? Right. So as I was talking about scarcity, so the underlying principle of scarcity is trade-off, okay? So we tell people that you can't have everything. We tell people that if you want to have one thing, you have to sacrifice something else. So it means that all economic decisions, they have cost, okay? So it doesn't matter, right? If you have something which is for free, so don't consider that thing as without any cost, right? So there's always a cost for any kind of activity or decision you're forming, okay? Right, and we take decision on the basis of cost-benefit principle. In this principle, we look at the cost and then we look at the benefits and then we measure if the benefits outweighs the cost or not, okay? If the benefit outweighs the cost, it means we have a positive surplus, and this will help us to make a choice, right, to take an action, okay? Right, so we can take an example here. Let's say if you are considering to do a master's degree, okay? Before taking this choice, before making this choice, you first look at the cost of going into the master's degree, and then you look at the benefit of having a master's degree, right? And then you compare. If the benefits outweigh the cost, then you will make the choice to go for master's degree. So in this case, sometimes the cost is quite explicit. For example, in the example of master's degree, the cost is not just the fees that you're paying to the university. The cost could be the less time that you have for your hobbies, okay? So the cost is not always explicit. It can be implicit and can be difficult to figure out, okay? So in economics, we teach how to figure out those kind of costs, which is hidden, right? But should be part of your decision, okay? So if someone is working and he would like to go to the master's degree, so in that case, that person should look at the cost of leaving the workplace for a couple of years, right? So that cost should be part of the decision, okay? So with this example, I will discuss with you the idea of opportunity cost, right? So this is one of the important topic that we do under economics, okay? And very important to understand if you want to think like an economist. Okay? So what is opportunity cost? This is the value of the next best alternative that is foregone by taking a particular action, okay? So we can understand this topic with the help of an example. So let's say this is, so a farmer can earn 60,000 in yearly profit by growing corn. Should she do it? So I'm expecting that most of the students will say yes, because this farmer can earn a positive profit of 60,000 by growing corn, right? So yes, she should do it. Okay? But now if I'll tell you that if the farmer could earn, that farmer could earn 100,000 by growing wheat, okay? So now I assume that the answer for the first question might change. Okay, you will say that, no, this farmer should grow wheat because by growing wheat, this farmer could earn 100,000. Okay, so she should not grow corn, but she should grow wheat. Okay, so this example is quite helpful to understand the concept of opportunity cost. Okay, so opportunity cost, as I've told you, is the value of the next best alternative that is foregone by taking a particular action. And in this case, if the farmer is growing growing corn, okay, then the opportunity cost of growing corn is 100,000, which is the profit from growing wheat. Okay, so this is the profit that the farmer will forego in order to grow corn, right? So the opportunity cost is the value of the next best alternative that is foregone by taking a particular action. So in this example, the idea of opportunity cost is quite clear, but sometimes it's very hidden and subtle, and you really need to work a lot in order to figure out the opportunity cost of an activity. Okay? And most of the times, people ignore opportunity cost when they are making decisions. Okay, so if you are an economist, if you are a rational human being, in that case, we expect that you will not ignore the opportunity cost when you are making decisions. Okay, so this is the first decision pitfall to avoid, ignoring opportunity cost. Okay? The other one is sunk cost. So what is sunk cost? Sunk cost is a cost which is once incurred, cannot be recovered. So this cost cannot be recovered at the moment a decision is made. Okay? Let's say I can give you an example to understand this topic. Let's say you bought a ticket for a movie and you went to the theater, and halfway through the movie you realized that this movie is terrible, right? And then you have to make the decision whether to watch this movie throughout or to just leave the theater at that moment. Okay, so I assume most of the students or people, they will think that if they will leave the theater in between, then basically they will waste the money that they have spent on the movie. Okay, so instead of leaving, they will just sit throughout the movie and leave towards the end. Okay, so if you are doing this, it means that you are failing to ignore the sunk cost. So buying a movie ticket is a sunk cost. Okay, so you cannot recover it. Once you spend on a movie ticket, it's gone, right? You cannot recover it. And the decision of whether to leave the movie halfway through or to sit through it does not depend on the price that you have paid for the movie, right? So it's a separate decision. So sunk costs should not be recovered and should not be part of the decision later on, okay? Right, so we can have another example to understand the same topic of sunk cost, okay? Let's say you and your friend are going for a concert, okay? When you arrived at the venue, you found that you lost the ticket, okay? And your friend who went with you, he didn't buy the ticket in advance, but he wanted to purchase it at the ticket office at the venue. But when your friend opened his wallet, he found that he lost 30 pounds. Okay, so basically you and your friend went to the movie theater, went to the concert, and you lost the ticket worth 30 pounds, and your friend lost the money worth 30 pounds. Okay, suppose that you and your friend have identical preferences and income. So now tell me which of the following scenarios would happen. Okay. So there are 4 options. You will tell me what will happen in this case. So you both went home without going to the concert, or you bought another ticket, but your friend went home, or your friend bought the ticket, but you went home. Or option D is both of you bought the ticket and went to the concert. Okay. So usually when I ask this question in the class, okay, I get different answers, different responses from my students. I can first start with telling you the right answer, and then I will discuss other options as well. Okay, so what my students think that why other options could be correct as well. Okay, so in this case, the most appropriate answer is part D, that both of you bought the ticket and went to the concert. Why is it so? Because losing a ticket worth £30 and losing money worth £30 is a sunk cost, right? So that cannot be recovered. So that should not be part of your decision of whether to go to concert or not. Because you're already at the venue, it means that you value the concert more than the cost. So you should buy another ticket and enjoy the concert. So this is the most appropriate answer. Okay. Option A could be correct, that you both went home without going to the concert. Why? Because you can say that you lost £30 and you don't have enough money to buy a concert ticket. So in that case, you and your friend will go home, right? Because you and your friend have identical income and identical preferences. So you both will take the same decision in this case. So A and D are correct, though A is a bit sad that you'll go home without concert, without watching concert. But yes, we can take both answers, A and D. So what about B? That you bought the ticket and your friend went home, and C, your friend bought the ticket, but you went home. So some students, they explain that if I lost £30 ticket, okay, and my friend lost £30 in money, then it is easy for my friend to fetch another £30 and buy a ticket and see the concert. But for me, I will feel that I'm spending £60 on a ticket, and it will be difficult for me to make this decision of buying another ticket. Okay, so we have a different study. We have like a different strand in economics that study these kind of questions. It's behavioral economics. Okay, so we study the behavior of people, how they behave in different situations. Okay, so and I can relate to this I can relate the situation to one of the theory in which they state that we open accounts, right, in our mind. It is called as mental accounting, right? So we have an account for entertainment, we have an account for eating, we have an account for other occasions. So for you who lost the ticket, right? So you already have minus 30 in that account. And if you're buying another ticket, you have minus 60 in that account. So you will feel like you are spending £60 on the ticket, on the ticket of a concert. Okay. But for those who lost £30 in cash, for them, that account is zero. So for them, it's still £30 for the movie ticket. Yes. This can happen if you are thinking that way. There's nothing wrong in there, but if you are a rational decision maker, you should avoid the sunk cost and should not make that thing as part of your decision. Okay, so yes, maybe for some of you this is not sounding right, but that's how we make decisions, and we call these as like smart decisions. Okay. Right. So D and A, these are both acceptable answers in this situation. Okay. Another thing, so let's say you want to buy a video game, right? And video game is worth £25. Okay, you can buy video game online. That's easy option. But then you realize that you have £10 voucher with you that you can use only in the shop. Okay, and the shop is 30 minutes away from your home. Okay, now I would like to ask you, would you walk 30 minutes to save £10 on a £25 movie ticket? Okay, so you can just note down your answer if it's yes or no. Okay, and then let's say you want to buy a laptop as well, okay, which is worth 1,000. Okay, and then you have the same coupon, like £10 coupon, right? You can save £10. And the condition is the same, that if you buy a laptop in the shop, you can get £10 off, otherwise not. Okay, and the shop is again 30 minutes from your place. So would you walk 30 minutes to save £10 on a laptop worth 1,000? Okay, So you should register your answer for part B as well. Okay. So now let's go through the answers. Okay, what should be the optimal, the right answers for these two? So if you have yes in the first case, then you should also have yes in the second case as well. Okay, so if you have yes in both the cases, it means you are making a rational decision. Or if you have no in both the cases, that's fine too. Okay, so let's start with the answer of yes. So if you say yes, I will walk 30 minutes to save 10 pounds on a 25 pounds video game. It means that 30 minutes walk is the cost, right? And the benefit is 10, right? So the benefit is more than the cost. That's why you said, yes, I will walk 30 minutes to save 10 pounds on a 25 pounds video game, right? So you're just comparing the cost and the benefit. Cost is 30 minutes walk and the benefit is 10 pounds. So you weigh 10 pounds more than 30 minutes walk. So yes, you will go and buy the video game and get 10 pounds off, okay? In the second case, again, the cost is 30 minutes and the benefit is 10 pounds. So from the first situation, I can see that you weigh 10 pounds more than 30 minutes of walk. So your answer is yes for second as well. Okay, that's right. So it means you're making rational decisions. But mostly people don't have the same answer for both the questions. So in the first situation, they might say yes, because they will think that I will save 40%, right, if I will go to the shop. But in the second case, they will think I will just save 1%, right, if I'll go to the shop and buy the laptop. So what they are doing here, they are measuring the cost and benefit as proportions rather than absolute money amount, okay? And which is, again, a decision pitfall to avoid. We should not measure cost and benefit as proportions, okay? We should measure them as absolute money account, okay? So you should not look at it in the percentage, 40% in the first case and 1% in the second case. So yes, to say 40%, I will go, but to say 1%, I will not go, right? If you are doing this, it means you're not making a rational decision, okay? So this is the third decision pitfall to avoid, that is to measure cost and benefit as proportions rather than absolute money amount, okay? Right. And the fourth one, okay, and this is the last one as well. So failing to understand the average versus marginal distinctions. So in economics, we deal with the marginal concepts a lot. Okay, so we make decisions based on the marginal concepts. It means that when we are deciding how much of an activity to undertake, the focus should always be on the cost and benefit of an additional unit of an activity. Okay, so let's say, let's take an example of road safety. So policymakers, they would like to spend on road safety in order to reduce the amount of accidents. Okay? So in such case, if policymakers are using average concepts, like they are measuring average cost and average benefit, and they're comparing average cost and average benefit and deciding if to take the project or not, then they are making a mistake, right? So this is another decision pitfall to avoid, that instead of taking average concepts, we should take into account marginal concepts when we are taking decisions. So instead of looking at the average cost and average benefit, the policymakers should look at the marginal cost, means the cost of additional unit of activity, and the marginal benefit means the benefit of additional unit of investment, and then decide if to take the project or not. Okay, so this is the fourth one. And just last few, just in the last, I would like to tell you about more about economics, that in economics we study, we have two branches, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Under microeconomics, we study the individual choice under scarcity. So we study how consumers make decisions right, given the resources that they have, or how producers make decisions, okay, in order to minimize the cost or maximize the profit. Okay, so we look at the behavior of prices and quantities in individual markets under microeconomics. But under macroeconomics, we study the economy as a whole, right? We study aggregate concepts, for example, unemployment in the economy, okay, inflation in the economy, right? And we study about different policies, such as fiscal policy, monetary policy, how they can be used to improve the performance of an economy. If the economy is under recession, what kind of policy to use in order to help economy recover faster? Okay, so these are the topics that we study under macroeconomics. Okay. So the students that we have here for business management and accounting and finance, they study both microeconomics and macroeconomic analysis. Okay. And also we have a distinction between positive economics and normative economics. Under positive economics, we study the questions like, what is demand? What is supply, right? So it describes and explains various economic phenomena without making any value judgment, okay, or subjective okay, opinions, right? And normative economics is the opposite. Under normative economics, we see what ought to be, right? If this policy is desirable or not. So this is a question for normative economics. Okay. So normative economics consists of statements in economics that reflect and based on the ethical value system of the economist, it focuses on the value of economic fairness or what the economy should be. Okay, so this is the distinction between positive and normative economics. Okay, so with this, I am finishing my presentation. Thank you very much. This is a very brief overview of how economists think. Okay, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for your presentation, Dr. Jindal. I was furiously taking notes because even for me as a professional working for the university, it's valuable information. I really appreciated especially the decision pitfalls, which seem to be sort of the core of the presentation, and how to avoid those. I wanted to just ask you a quick question about the structure of studying in a degree at Lancaster University, Leipzig. So what I mean is, during a typical week, what kind of study environments will a student be involved in?
Okay, yeah. So as I have been part of this university, this campus, for 3 years by now. So during this time, I have worked closely with the students. So I have been involved in a variety of modules. I have some comments from my students as well, and they describe the environment. It's quite, because we have diverse body of students. We have students from every part of the world. So, and they just work together, they work in a team, which I think, engrave a lot of good skills, and they learn a lot from each other. So I can see around me that kind of environment. Okay, so in my lectures, my aim is basically to instill in students the deep understanding of my subject, and also other skills that will help them to have a better future. So yeah, so far the students are, involved, interacting in the lectures, and they have, I think, what is required to get the best out of their degree.
Excellent. I have just one more question before we wrap up. Well, two more questions. The first question is, what is the difference between a lecture and a workshop or a seminar?
Okay, so lecture is basically where I am the one who is talking for 2 hours, let's say. So I'm the one who is taking the lead. I'm explaining them the concepts, okay? And during seminars, I would like the students to take the lead. Basically, they will have a set of questions which they will attempt before coming to the lecture, before coming to the seminar, but they are the ones who will start the discussion. And so basically, I want students to have, to take the lead and to have discussions in the seminar so that they have more confidence, in putting up their points and also learn other kind of skills as well there. So this is the difference.
Putting their ideas from the lectures into practice.
Yes, that's what it is. But I normally want my students to take the lead in seminars, so that they just feel confident of talking, in a presentation.
Excellent. And if a student wants, if a student asks primarily for economics, and of course at Lancaster University Leipzig, we offer business management, accounting and finance, computer science, software engineering, as well as business analytics and media. Which degrees offer the most economic focus?
Okay, so I will say there's a bit of economics in all these degrees, right? You might have a bit more in business management, where they do some economic courses in their first and second year, and also in accounting and finance. So accounting and finance as well, they have like a beginner level of economics and intermediary level of economics. Business analytics, again, they have to deal with a lot of numbers, and economics is all about numbers. So they have to use a lot of economic concepts there. So I wouldn't say that there is a degree where they don't have to do economics at all. So a bit of economics is everywhere, okay? And this is needed for all these programs.
Absolutely. And then the final question before we end, how long have you been living in Leipzig, and what is your favorite thing about living in Leipzig?
So as I've told you, it's like 3 years since I'm part of this campus. And Leipzig, I just love the city. As you explained in the beginning, what are the good parts of Leipzig? I completely agree. I have experienced all of those things here. As you told me, I was in UK before, so I have experience of the main campus at Lancaster University, and I have an experience of a branch campus. And if I'll compare, I can say that this campus offers the same level of academic quality and values as we have in the main campus. And city-wise, I'll prefer Leipzig over Lancaster anytime.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Neha Jindal, for joining us today to discuss what it takes to think like an economist.
Yes.
I keep wanting to say economics. What it takes to think like an economist. Your insights were valuable, of course, for the students joining this webinar today. These were broad concepts, of course. Dr. Jindal was introducing a concept to you guys, and I hope you guys got a lot from it. So thank you again, Dr. Jindal, for taking the time to join us. And for those of you considering a degree at Lancaster University Leipzig, you can find more information on our website at www.lancasterleipzig.de. With that, I wish you a happy morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're calling in from. And thank you so much for joining us. Thank you again, Dr. Jindal.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.